Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute little gift bag. You can use it for crystals, or even for candles, or for just anything small. So what I will be using is white thread, a white threaded bobbin, white mesh. I'm going to be using a ruler, some scissors, a safety pin, and also some ribbon, white ribbon, and pins. And I will also be using a sewing machine. So you want to start off by cutting a 6x6 inch cardboard. That's what I did. Whatever size you want yours to be, you can make it, but for mine it's 6x6, and mind you, it's gonna be smaller after I sew it because of the seam allowance. It'll be shorter at least. The next step is to go ahead and cut your 6x6 inch piece of fabric, your mesh fabric, but do notice that instead of doing two separate squares, I just took the fabric and folded it in half. So one side is cut, the other side is still together, but it does equal 6x6. It's 6x6 inches. So this is the top of the bag where the two pieces are cut. This is the top of the bag, and what I'm going to do is fold it down maybe about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to pin it right here because I'm going to begin to sew the top edges down. I'm going to go ahead and fold these edges down. And you want to make sure it's on the same, you fold them the same way. Like if you're going to fold it inwards on this side as well. All right, and now that we have both of the sides pinned down, we can go ahead and sew them. Now this part is important because we're using mesh. We're going to have to make sure we have the proper settings on the sewing machine. I am using a Brother LX3817. And so I'm going to go ahead and thread it and get it set up for sewing. All right, so the settings that I'm going to use to sew on this mesh are a 3. I'm going to use a 3. And I will be having this on, got my knob on zigzag. Now, I do want this to be as close to the edge as possible. So I'm lining this up as close to the needle as I possibly can. All right, and you can see this is how it came out. I messed up a little bit on the edges, but all I'm going to do is cut that off, and it'll be perfect. All right, so I just finished sewing down both of the seams. And my next step is going to be to sew down the sides. I'm going to sew down the sides. Now, another important thing about when you sew down the sides, make sure you put pins right here to keep this even at the top. But then also when you sew down the sides, make sure you stop right before this part. You got to stop right before the part we already sewed, because we need this to be empty so we can push our thread through for tightening. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pin. I'm going to go ahead and pin this up so it doesn't move. And the way you want to sew it, the way you want to sew the sides, I'm going to be flipping this inside out. So you want the inside to be touching. So the way to tell is wherever we have that extra fabric sticking out from how you folded it. All right, so the fabric is on this side. You see that extra fabric? So this is going to be our inside. And the same as over here, yeah. So this is our inside. Because this is our inside, we're going to flip it out. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure these are even at the top. All right, now let's get to sewing our sides down. Now also, I'm going to be doing this one as close to the edge as possible. I am going to do a back stitch. All right, now I am going to cut these edges, cut the thread, and clean it up a bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting these. Okay, now let's get the other side. All right, now I'm going to show you where I messed up at. Right here, you can see it got tangled a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just cut the knots and make it look uniform. You won't even be able to tell. Clean it up real good. All right, so now we got all of the string cut off. We're still on the opposite side. So the next thing I want to do is kind of clean up the edges here. I want to take off the excess right here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's okay if a little bit is hanging out, but You know, I don't want it to be too much to where it affects the bag once you have something in it. You can cut that up a little bit too up there. As long as you don't go cutting the thread and loosening it. All right, that's a little bit of piece we gotta cut off there. All right, so that looks pretty neat. All right, and then let's do the same thing on this side. You want to be very careful not to cut the thread. Just, you know, if it's too much for you to cut it, just don't. Leave it like it is. You really can't tell anyway, since the material it's hard to tell the difference. You wouldn't be able to really see that. All right, so we got all of our edges cut. We got all of our thread cut. Now let's fold it inside out. Okay. And for these corners to go ahead and stick out the right way, I'm going to take the back of my pen and stick it through. So like this. Push it through the corner so the corners could stick out. All right. So there we have our bag. All right, for our next step, we're going to be getting our ribbon, and we're going to get our safety pin and some scissors. All right, so what you want to do is you want to measure this. It's going to be double the width, double the width at the top of here, plus half. And I'm going to cut 2 strings. I'm going to do that twice. So we have 1. Okay. Maybe I should just take this tape off. There we go. All right, so we got 1, 2, plus a half. Cut that, and we're gonna need 2 of these. So let's just put it here, measure it. Cut it. All right, we got our 2 strings. So now what we're gonna be doing is pushing it through. We're gonna take our safety pin and put it here. And close it. Then we are gonna stick our safety pin through. You bunch it up and push it back. And just keep pushing it and pull this back. Push it forward, scrunch it up, pull it back. Okay, same thing over here. Okay, and so now you can pull it all the way through, just not too much because you don't want it to, you don't want the edge of this to start going through. All right, and so after you've gotten it all the way through, go ahead and tie a knot at the ends. So here, just tie a little knot. And you can cut it to make it look neater. All right, now you're gonna do the same thing one more time, but this time you're gonna make it go in the opposite direction. So we're still gonna, so this time we are gonna go the back way. The first time I went through here first. So this time we're just gonna go through the back way. And because the other side of the ribbon is already tied, you don't have to worry about it getting lost in this hem. Let me do just a little bit. All right, we got it through. I'm gonna just straighten out this other part. Okay. To make these even. All right, so now we have that part through. And then I'm going to take these two ends and tie a knot. Cut it, make it look neat. And boom, there you have it. Our bag. We have our little gift bag. And you can do it like that. Put your stuff in it and do it like that. Let's test it out.